What's up, boys? Goes back with a new video, and today I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite loadouts for Warzone Season 3. If you like the video, make sure to drop a like, hit the sub button, and hit the post notification bell to never miss an upload. Let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm going to go over these first, my perks and lethals and tacticals. I use all these on all my classes, except for my last one, because I was running thermite just in case of any emergencies. Okay, so my perks are on EOD, Overkill, and Amped, but I sometimes switch out EOD for double time to move a little bit faster, and Overkill. On my second loadout, I switched this for 2 perks, either on Restock or Ghost, but Amped always stays the same. I always run Amped. Okay, so for my first loadout, I like to run M4 and Bullfrog. It's that the Bullfrog might get nerfed, so I'm trying to use the best I can until it does get nerfed. So, for the M4, muzzle category, monolithic suppressor. Best attachment for all Modern Warfare guns. So, the pros, sound suppression, damage range, cons. You don't really notice the cons of aim outside speed and aim walking steadiness. You don't really notice that. But for the barrel, I run the stock M16 Grenadier. But if you want more mobility, I run a Corvus Custom Marksman, but I run stock M16. Underbarrel, Commando foregrip, nothing too special, just Commando. Ammunition, don't use these two. These two are just straight trash. You can either run the 50 or 60 round mags, those are the two best. I run 60 because it comes with the blueprint. And for your last attachment, if you don't like the iron sights, I love the iron sights on M4. You can run optic. I either recommend VOK 3x optic or Cork hollow sight. If you do run Cork hollow sight, I would run the blue dot on it if you have it unlocked. And also on VOK 3x optic, I would recommend T-post reticle. But me personally, what I run, I use rubberized grip tape for a little bit more recoil control. Another thing you can run is the tac laser, which gives aim and flight speed, aim stability, and aim walking steadiness. Like I said, I run rubberized grip tape. And for the Bullfrog, Groove Suppressor, best sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range. You do lose some ADS speed and aiming stability, but we'll fix that later. Groove Suppressor. Next, 7.4 Task Force Barrel, effective damage range and bullet velocity, but the main thing on this barrel is the trace speed. You do lose some vertical and horizontal recoil control, but 1, this gun doesn't have that much, and 2, we'll counter that later. Next attachment, Special Ops Grip, counters Task Force Barrel for the recoil. Next attachment, you can run 65 round mags, but me, I like the fast mag, because it comes stock with 50, so just reload a little bit quicker. I think all this down here is just to overkill with it. You only need 85 rounds on SMG, so that's run fast mag. And the last attachment, you can run any 3 of these stocks will work on this gun. For me personally, I like to run the KG skeletal stock. For 1, because it comes with the blueprint that I run, and plus it's like the Raider stock. And that's my first loadout. Second loadout, Kilo MP5. This is a very old, not very old meta, but it's a old meta from like season 6, I would say, before Cold War came into Warzone and stuff like that. So first, I would run monolithic suppressor, the same like the M4, sound suppression, damage range. Longest barrel, 1918 Prowler barrel, damage range, velocity, recoil control. You do lose some ADS and movement speed, but we'll fix that. Plus, you don't really need ADS movement speed when it's a long range AR. You don't really need that. Commando foregrip, because this gun doesn't have a lot of recoil on it, so you don't need to run a Merc or go down, run an operator or a ranger. Just run Commando. This is where it comes to personal preference. If you want to spray and pray, use 100 round drums. But me, I don't really like them because the ADS is just straight chalked. So I run 6 round mags. And last thing is VOK 3x optic. I know a bunch of people like to run core combat, but I run VOK. And with the T-post reticle. First MP5. This, I'm going to start using this again because it's one of my favorite SMGs in the game right now. So what I run, monolithic integral suppressor. Merc foregrip because give recoil control, and plus the hip fire accuracy. That's another thing I like about this gun. Is when you hip fire with it, it's great. Ammunition, 45 round mags. I wouldn't recommend this because it's only a 30 round mag, and you can't really use that in Warzone. Maybe in solos, but duos, trios, and quads, I wouldn't use it. So just run 45. Stock, stock collapsible, movement speed, ADS speed, but you do lose some aiming stability and recoil control. But you don't really need that because you're using this gun up close and personal, and plus this gun doesn't have a bunch of recoil on it. Last attachment, there's two that I would recommend. First one is 5mm laser, hip fire accuracy, and sprint fire speed. The con, that doesn't really matter. Laser is visible, that doesn't really matter. I would use this, but me personally, I like to run sleight of hand for a little bit of faster reload. And that is my second loadout with the stuns and throwing knife. Next, M13. This gun, some people call it a pea shooter, but in my opinion, it's not that bad. I use it with the blue dot hollow sight on it, but I like it. First, small suppressor, damage range and sound suppression. Longest barrel, damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. You lose some ADS, movement speed, but you don't really need that because it's a long range AR. Underbarrel, commando foregrip because this gun does have a bunch of recoil just like the Kilo. And plus, and ammunition, 60 round mags. I wouldn't use this because it does hurt your bullet velocity and recoil control, and also you only get 30 rounds in it. Don't run 50 because this gun has a very fast fire rate. Just run 60, it's the best on this gun. Last attachment, I would use an optic because I don't really like the iron sights on this. You could use VLK 3x optic, but me personally, I either run the PBX7 hollow sight or the Court Combat hollow sight, and I run it with the blue dot. This gun right here is still OP. R90 shotgun. This gun took over Warzone a couple of months ago. It wasn't fair in close quarters fights. I feel like it still isn't. Muzzle. Don't run my suppressor. You get sound suppression, damage range, but the better thing to run is choke, because you get tight pellet spread and damage range. And ADS speed, you don't really ADS with this gun. It's mainly hip fire. Barrel, 4-sec sentry, damage range, and tight pellet spread. I wouldn't run this because you do lose out on damage range, so just run 4-sec sentry. Next, 5mm laser. Obviously, I said we're hip firing on this gun, so hip fire accuracy and sprint fire speed. Rear grip, stipple grip tape, ADS speed, and sprint fire. On shotguns, you really do need sprint fire speed, so that's what I run on this. This right here, this attachment right here, it makes this gun very, very toxic. Go down, Dragon's Breath rounds, incendiary damage, which you do lose some damage range, but it's a shotgun, so you really shouldn't be using it at range. So yes, this gun right here is still OP in my opinion, especially on Rebirth, which y'all do know I do play a bunch of Rebirth, so I'm sorry using this gun again too. And that is my second loadout with throwing knife and stun. 4, this is probably my at least top 2 favorite loadouts right now. AMAX and MAX-10. MAX-10 did get a little bit of nerf, but it's still very good. It's like top 2, top 3 SMGs right now. But for the AMAX, my opinion, it's the best they are right now. Okay, so for your muzzle, suppressor, obviously, sound suppression, damage range. There's only one barrel in Warzone I would recommend when we're using it as like a primary AR long range. That is the XRK Zodiac S440 barrel. It's basically your standard long barrel. Damage range, velocity, recoil control. Next, I got used to this gun with the recoil on it, so I run Commando foregrip. But if you're not a very accurate player, I would recommend the Ranger foregrip because this gun does have a little bit of recoil to it. It is kind of shaky, but I run Commando foregrip. Ammunition Unfortunately, it only goes to 45 round mags, but we make it work because it is a slow fire gun with a high damage output, so we use this. Optic, VOK 3 times optic. Best optic for this gun. Me, like I said, I run T-pose on it. And for the Mac 10, what I run on my Mac 10 is agency suppressor. Like I said, best cold war attachment in Warzone. Barrel, 5.9 task force barrel, effective damage range, bullet velocity, straight speed. And you do the cons, vertical and horizontal recoil control. But this gun doesn't have that much recoil control. Like I said, we'll fix that later on. Next, field edge and foregrip to counter the task force barrel. Ammunition, 53 round drum. Whatever you do, don't run a salvo 53 round mags. This is because it straight chalks your ADS speed. They nerfed it in a recent update, but just run 53 round drum. If your last attachment, like I said, either no stock, SS combat, or Raider stock, either of them three. But my Mac 10, I like to run SS combat stock because I do hip fire a little bit with this gun. And with SS combat, you only lose 15% hip fire accuracy. With the Raider stock, you lose 30, so it's doubled. So I run SS combat. And that's my fourth loadout. Fifth loadout. Once the AMAX gets nerfed, I think this will be the new meta. Ram 7. This is, I feel like this will be the new primary once the AMAX gets nerfed, or at least top 5 in primaries. A monolithic suppressor, sound suppression damage range. Barrel, FSS Ranger. You could run the Eclipse, but you don't get the recoil control with it, so I run FSS Ranger. And plus this gun does have a little bit of kick to it, so I run that. Underbarrel, Commando foregrip is what I run, but like I said, if you're not an accurate player, go down and run Ranger foregrip because it does give you more recoil control. But me, I use Commando because you don't lose out on the ADS speed. Ammunition, 50 round max because that's the only thing you can run. It doesn't go up to 60, so that's kind of unfortunate. On this gun, I run 2 optics. Core Combat Hollow Sight with the blue dot. Or you can go over and run VOK. But on this gun, I like to stay with the default, but you can try it out. You might like T-pose on it. This is the Spaz 12 from Cold War. And this gun's completely broken. It's just broken. They said the Street Sweeper is gonna get a nerf, so I feel like this will be the new shotgun to run. Agency choke. It's basically like the agency suppressor and then the group suppressor. Same pros and cons. Barrel, 21.4 reinforced heavy. You get effective damage range and you get fire rate. So run this. Since I hip fire a lot with this gun, swap firing a lot laser would be the best for me. Ammunition, 12 round 2. 9, I feel like it just isn't enough, so I run 12. And for this gun, I wouldn't run this since it's a shotgun, you do need a little bit of strength of fire speed. So I would either run marathon stock or no stock. For me, I run no stock. And that is my 5th loadout. Going to my 6th loadout. I still like this combo right here. This is the M16. I feel like it's still pretty good, but you just have to change up the attachments just a little bit. Agency silencer. Underbarrel. Field edge and foregrip. Ammunition, still 45 round max. Optic, action arm 3 times with the precision reticle. And this is things you have to change up. Before the season 3 update, the strike team was the best barrel because it gave fire rate. It was glitch and it also gave you the most bullet velocity. That's what J-God had tested and gave you the most bullet velocity. And aim walk movement speed, but you only need that. But the problem with the AUG M16 now is the fire rate. So what I like to run is the 16-inch titanium barrel, which gives you the most fire rate out of all the attack rifles. And my FAR, I still use it as like an SMG. It did get nerfed, but I feel like it's still very, very good. Agency suppressor. Same pros and cons as all the other guns. Barrel. 19.5 task force barrel. It does give you the cons of vertical and horizontal recoil control, but since you use it at close range, you don't really need it. But the pros are very good. Effective damage range, velocity, and strafe speed. The main thing right here is strafe speed. That's the main thing that you need. Go over 50 round mags. Don't use the salvo because, like I said, it's just straight chalk your ADS speed, so use 50 round mags. But the ADS speed on the FAR isn't that great, so I do run Serpent Wrap for a little bit more. And your last attachment, run either of these two. Use strafe like a madman. It's crazy. But me, like I said, I run the SS combat stock because sometimes I do hip fire. I wouldn't run the CQB pad on the FFAR because you shouldn't be hip firing, but sometimes I do. So I just run the SS combat stock. And that is my 6th loadout that I like to run. 7, the PKM. When the Bruin was meta, I didn't have multiplayer, so this is the gun that I had used, and I still love it. Oh, first, mollusk suppressor, sound suppression and damage range. Go to your barrels. Best barrel here is a 26.9 extended barrel for damage range, velocity, and recoil control. You do lose some ADS speed and movement speed, but we'll get that back later. Next attachment, tac laser. Tac laser, ADS speed, and stability, and what can said in this, with basically no cons, just laser is visible. Optic, Court Combat Hollow Sight. This is what I like to run. Like I said, you could run VOK, but I run Court Combat Hollow Sight with the blue dot. Your last attachment. It comes stock with 100 round mag, so you're fine. And it only goes up to 150, 200. For your underbarrel, this is the best underbarrel you can run the PKM, because you get recoil control and ADS speed. That is just a great attachment, but you do lose some movement speed. But with this, you shouldn't really be moving around the map with it because it's an LMG. So just run snatch grip. And that's the PKM I like to run. I like to run it with the Kohler MP5. I don't have this gun fully maxed out, so I'm trying to get there. But what I run, Silicon Eliminator, vertical, recoil control, and stability, and position concealment. Next, I like to run the 9.5 Ranger. It gives you the most velocity out of all the barrels. Underbarrel, the Bruiser Grip, because you get movement speed and hip fire accuracy. That's just a great combo. Ammunition, 50 round mags. It's the most you can get. Go to your stock. Red stock came with the blueprint, so that's what I like to run. You could run no stock, but like I said, I like to run regular stock. And that is my 7th loadout that I like to run. For 8, good old Bruin. Back when this gun was meta, it was OP, because you can convert this gun to like an AR. I'll show you how. So for your muzzle, mollusk suppressor, sound suppression, damage range. Barrel, XRK Summit 26.9 barrel. Longest barrel, damage range, velocity, recoil control. It's just obvious. Underbarrel, I wouldn't really use it because the gun doesn't have much recoil on it. Tac laser for a little bit more ADS speed. Optic, I would run VOK 3 times optic over the Court Combat Hollow Sight. That's because we're not running an underbarrel. So VOK 3 times optic, it does give you a little bit more accuracy. So this is what I like to run. Ammunition, this is how you turn it into an AR. When you do this, it's 6 round mags. All them pros are just great. You get ADS speed, French fire speed, movement speed, and detachable magazine. What detachable magazine is, for example, in the Kilo, you can pull the clip out and put another one in. But on most LMGs, it's a belt, so it takes like 7 to 8 seconds to reload. But on this, you can run detachable, and it's like a 1.3 second reload, I think. But cons, magazine, ammo capacity, and recoil control. That's okay. And bullfrog again, same bullfrog from earlier. Task force barrel, Cessna's grip, fast mag, and KGB skeletal stock. You could run these two, but I don't. KGB skeletal. And 9. This is my sniper loadout. So I like to run M4 with it. It's a pretty versatile M4. Multi suppressor, damage range, sound suppression. Course custom marksman because you do get more mobility than the stock M6 and Grenadier, but you still do get the same pros. So course custom. Underbarrel commando foregrip, just moving speed, but you don't lose out on any ADS speed. Ammunition, 60 round mags. I like it because it comes with the blueprint that I run, the 1776 blueprint. And then you have rear grip. I run stipple grip tape for ADS speed and suspensive fire speed. And on this blueprint, it does change the iron sights on it. If you can kind of see, it does change the iron sights on it. I like these better than the original runs, but they're both very good. And for my Car 98 class, this is, in my opinion, the best Car 98 class you can run. Multi suppressor, sound suppression, damage range. Longest barrel, 27.6. Attack laser, because you get ADS speed, aim stability, and aim walking steadiness. In the laser, it's just visible, not really a con. Optic, sniper scope. You could run variable zoom, but in my opinion, I don't really like it. So I run sniper scope. F-Tac sport cone for ADS speed. In reticle, I would like to run cover shot because the lines are very thin. And that is my 9th loadout. My 10th loadout is a growl with a, I feel like this VLK Rogue is very underrated, but we're gonna get to the growl first. Muzzle, multi suppressor, Archangel barrel. It's the longest barrel, and plus that's how you get the little pin needle iron sights by running this barrel. If you run any other, won't give you pin needle iron sights, and plus it doesn't give you the most damage range, velocity, recoil control. Underbarrel, commando foregrip, because the gun doesn't have a bunch of recoil on it, so commando. Ammunition, I like to run 50 because it comes with the blueprint, but you can run 60. Both of these are pretty viable. Last attachment, you can run the optic if you don't like the iron sights. But like I said, since I like the pin needle iron sights, I run attack laser for a little bit more ADS speed. But if you want more recoil, run F-Tac R89 rubber. But like I said, I run attack laser. The OK Rogue. This gun is very good. It's not as good as the R90 or the Origin, but it's still a close third. Muzzle. I said on the R90 I told you to run choke. This one, 4-Sack Marauder, because this one on choke you don't get sound suppression, but this one you do. Barrel, 16-inch Warlord, because damage range and side pellet spread. You can run this, but you do lose a type of con of moving speed, but I don't like. A 16-inch Warlord is the best for me. Laser, follow out laser because it's a hip fire shotgun. Dragon's Breath again, just like on the R90. And for last attachment, you can either run stipple grip tape, or me, since I like to get my moving speed and ADS speed, I run no stock. Recoil control, aim stability, it's a shotgun, so you don't really need that. So that's where I like to run no stock. And those are my 10 favorite loadouts in Call of Duty Season 3 in Warzone. You can try them out, copy and paste any loadouts that you want to. Put down in comments how you felt about them. Let me know if I can try a new class that you want me to try out. Any more guns, but just let me know down in comments. Peace out. See you next video.